Hey guys, Ashley here today with SixPackAbs.com, and I'm with Johnny to discuss going over getting the results that you expect. The Misanthrope channel asks, this is annoying. I can lift a barbell with 30 pounds on each end and my arms are nowhere near as big as this guy's arms. What's the deal? Johnny, why do you think this guy isn't getting results?
Good question. Thank you, Ashley. Here's the first thing we want to talk about is that all you're doing? Is all you're doing the same day when you go into training for arms doing barbell curls? I used to do that a lot when I was younger. I'd be like, oh man, I love to do barbell curls first. And that was literally the first thing I would do every single time I did arms. And then I would maybe do one or two more things and kind of call it a day. And typically those things were usually kind of similar. Mm-hmm. And then it dawned on me, it's kind of a plateau effect right there when you continually do the same thing over and over. So if you repetitively do this movement over and over and over, your body's going to try and figure out its path to least resistance. Strong arm's going to take over, possibly, which is why some guys might have a bigger right arm than a bigger left arm. Other muscle groups might start to get involved. You see these guys, the lower back curls, the bouncing curls, that sort of thing, the duck under curls. So that's one thing you need to consider is, what are you doing? Are you doing the same thing over and over? And when it comes to arms, for me, I really like to think outside the box. So instead of a lot of you're just basic standing barbell curls, your seated dumbbell curls, those are great, don't get me wrong, and never get away from just the fundamentals, but you want to also utilize a lot of other angles and a lot of other types of lifts when it comes to your biceps. So for example, you need to be utilizing different types of machines. Now, dumbbells and barbells, obviously the bread and butter. Those are awesome. But there's also things like cables. There's also resistance bands that you can add to the barbells and dumbbells. And there's even machines. And sometimes machines get a bad rap because you might see some beginners on them more often than not. But machines are actually very beneficial. And cables also specifically are very beneficial when it comes to arms. And here's the reason why, is that when you're using cables or even some machines, you actually achieve peak tension in the movement a lot sooner. So for example, with a barbell or a dumbbell, you're fighting gravity, okay? So you're lifting the barbell, the dumbbell, and once you kind of get it up here, you have it in a vertical position, so the tension has kind of been taken away from the bicep, and you're using your shoulders, your chest to kind of hold it up there for a second, unless you're really squeezing. So with a cable, though, as soon as you lift that stack up, you have that continuous tension pulling, and again, it's pulling in a completely different angle in a completely different direction. So that's what I would say, Misanthrope, is definitely try to utilize a lot of different, obviously, equipment. Try to hit it from different angles. And what you really want to do, what I try to focus on, is getting outside your comfort zone. Because as soon as you're comfortable doing something, then your progress is kind of going to slow down. And that's, you're hitting a plateau, essentially. The other thing I tell guys when it comes to this is don't necessarily worry about what the guy next to you is doing. I mean, you just kind of...
Johnny ignores it all the time. I'm over there curling like 60s, and, he still works on his 30s.
True story. Leave your ego at the door. Don't necessarily worry about amount of weight you're lifting or what the guy next to you is lifting. Worry more about the mind and muscle connection. I mean, for me, sometimes if I'm struggling, like sometimes if it's loud in the gym or if I'm just really struggling to feel the pump and have a good workout, I literally just close my eyes. So close your eyes and really try to block out everything and really focus on what you're doing. And when it comes to arms, a lot of it is, again, the different types of equipment, hitting it from different angles, definitely the full stretch and the full contraction. So also make sure that your form is good when doing that.
Well, when I hit a plateau, I've always kind of what you're saying is I've looked for other exercises. How else can I work this muscle that's going to be a little bit different? I had a plateau on my squats. It was really depressing. I started doing more deadlifts and adding in some hip thrusts to kind of get that like glute power behind there.
Correct.
And when I went back and I was like, okay, I did that for a couple months, and I went back to my barbell back squat and totally pushed through where I was stuck.
And it surprised you, right?
Yeah.
Another thing to consider is also your forearm development. Really strong forearms too, gives them a much stronger grip. They're able to get it up. So also work on your forearms. Do other things. Reverse curls, reverse cable curls. There's an old school curl called a Zottman curl, where you actually curl up and then you pronate your wrist and then slowly curl it down. So again, these are a lot of things that you can utilize that can really help you bust through that plateau.
I'm going to try that one.
Those were the bomb. Cool. That was a free one there.
All right. Well, thank you, Johnny, so much for taking the time to answer that question. And thank you, Misanthrope Channel, for the question. Guys out there watching, if you have anything that we can help answer here at SixPackAbs.com, please leave it in the comments below. Also, don't forget, like, share, and subscribe to Six Pack Abs.